Hi, my name is Jessica Johnson. I am doing the biography of Johnny Cash. I'm going to try doing this the best I can. I did try using the one video link that our professor had provided to us, but unfortunately my audio wasn't working, so I have to try figure out how to make it so you can see this as well as hear me and see me. This is the cover page I have for it. Great picture of Johnny Cash. All right. So, Johnny Cash was born on February 26, 1932 in Kingsland, Arkansas to Carrie Clovery and Ray Cash. He was the fourth of 7 children who were in birth order: Roy, Margaret, Louise, Jack, J.R., Reba, Joanne, and Tommy. At birth, Cash was named J.R. Cash. His mother wanted to name him John, and his father preferred to name him Ray. J.R. ended up being the only compromise they could agree on. More on early childhood. Cash's early memories were dominated by gospel music and taught guitar by his mother and a childhood friend. Cash began playing and writing songs at the age of 12. When young, Cash had a high tenor voice before becoming a bass baritone after his voice had changed. In high school, he sang on local radio stations. Decades later, he released an album of traditional gospel songs. Now, Cash enlisted in the United States Air Force on July 7th, 1950. After basic training at Lakeland Air Force Base and technical training at Brooks Air Force Base, both in San Antonio, Texas. Cash was assigned to the 12th Radio Squadron Mobile of the United States Air Force Security Service at Landsberg, Germany. During his military service, he acquired a distinctive scar on the right side of his jaw as a result of surgery to remove a cyst. I'm also going to post the PowerPoint on here as well, so you can kind of see that, you can kind of see more of what I'm writing. In 1954, Cash and Vivian moved to Memphis, Tennessee, where he had sold appliances while studying to be a radio announcer. At night, he played with guitarist Luther Perkins and bassist Marshall Grant. Perkins and Grant were known as the Tennessee Two. Cash worked up the courage to visit the Sun Record studio, hoping to get a recording contract. On December 4th, 1956, Elvis Presley quickly visited on Phillips while Carl Perkins was in the studio cutting new tracks. With Lee Jerry Lewis backing him on piano, Cash was also in the studio, and the four started an impromptu jam session. Cash's next record, Folsom Prison Blues, made the country top 5. His I Walk the Line became number 1 on the country charts and entered the pop charts top 20. Home of the Blues followed, recorded in July 1957. The same year, Cash became the first Sun artist to release a long-playing album. Although he was Sun's most consistently selling and prolific artist at the time, Cash felt constrained by his contract with the small label. In his early career, Cash was given the teasing name The Undertaker by fellow artists because of his habit of wearing black clothes. He said he chose them because they were easier to keep looking clean on long tours. As his career was taking off in the late 1950s, Cash started drinking heavily and became addicted to amphetamines. For a brief time, he shared an apartment in Nashville with Waylon Jennings, who was deeply addicted to amphetamines. In 1997, Cash was diagnosed with a neurodegenerative disease, Shy-Drager syndrome, a form of multiple syndrome atrophy. The diagnosis was later again altered to atopic neuropathy associated with diabetes. The illness forced Cash to curtail his touring. He was hospitalized in 1998 with severe pneumonia, which damaged his lungs. His wife, June Carter Cash, died on May 15th, 2003 at the age of 73. June had told Cash to keep working, so he continued to record, completing 60 more songs in the last 4 months of his life, and even performed a few surprise shows at the Carter family fold outside Bristol, Virginia. He continued to record until shortly before his death. His final recordings were made on August 21st, 2003, and the final song he completed, En-114, was recorded for his son, John Carter Cash, for a planned Carter family tribute album. While being hospitalized at Baptist Hospital in Nashville, Cash died of complications from diabetes around 2 o'clock in the morning Central Standard Time on September 12, 2003, at the age of 71, less than 4 months after his wife had passed away. He was buried next to her in Hendersonville Memory Gardens near his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. And that is all I have for him. I will also be posting the PowerPoint presentation as well, so you can also see that. It was kind of hard for me to go back and forth, unfortunately, because the other thing wasn't working on my laptop. But again, in the impromptu speech, the reason I had chosen Johnny Cash to, write about and talk about is because he is one of my favorite country artists, due to growing up and being introduced to him by my grandpa. I've always been fond of his music, and I will always continue to be fond of his music. So I really hope you like this presentation. Thank you.